Good morning, everyone. This is Nicole. I'm back with another video. If you're new to my channel, please go to the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified when I post a new video or I go live. For those of you returning subscribers, thank you very much for coming back to my video. Please email me, Nicole Ali 864, Nicole with a C, at NicoleAli864@yahoo.com, and put in the subject line Black Travel Group, and I will forward you the information from Sonia Seas about the travel group and all the information that she has gathered. We're still working on the travel group, making plans right now. Right now it's just an idea, but I think it's a good idea that's critical to us as Black people, helping each other to obtain passports, as well as traveling, exploring new places, new ideas, patronizing Black businesses around the country and hopefully at some point around the world. So that's enough of the announcements. Let's get to this story. This will probably be a long video. Those of you with short attention spans, please remember that this is YouTube. You can come back to the video and finish it later. You can watch it in segments. You can watch it however you want. Slow mo, fast mode, however you would like to watch it. I'm getting a little perturbed with emails saying that my videos are too long. So that's a suggestion to you. If you feel that way, please go and watch the video in segments. If your attention span is as long as a goddamn flea, first of all, I have questioned a lot of your intelligence, but if that's the case for you, like I said, please go and watch the videos in segments. As we know, there were two Black men, real estate investors or real estate brokers, professionals, probably make six figures a year, who were arrested wrongfully for what they say is trespassing. I didn't know it was trespassing to be sitting in a public place, such as a Starbucks. You have people that sit up in Starbucks for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day conducting business because they have online business. They have meetups there. People have hangouts, and they have consistent internet access there as long as they're a patron at Starbucks. I see people at McDonald's doing the same thing. You know, when you ride by, you see people with laptops or their tablets or phones, and they're conducting business. Everyone doesn't come there just to eat and stuff their face and drink coffee. But I have 6 links that I'll leave in the description box. One comes from Philly Mag, the Philly magazine, and this one is somewhat different from the other articles that people have been reporting on, mainly because of the young lady on the left side of this image. And her name is Melissa DePino. She shared the viral video. She's the one who recorded the video and shared it from the Philadelphia Starbucks wrongful arrest on Thursday. And right on the right side is a screenshot of one of the Black men being arrested by Philadelphia police cops, the Philadelphia police officers, suspected race soldiers. The article starts off saying, if you've been anywhere near the internet over the last 48 hours, you've probably seen the video, and they have it linked here if you'd like to see it yourself, of 2 African-American men being arrested by the Philadelphia Police Department inside a Starbucks on Thursday afternoon. Starbucks has apologized. Okay. Of course, we know that's some fake bullshit, but okay, let's go on. The men were not charged with anything and have been released. They should have never been arrested in the first place. And the PPD has said the cops did nothing wrong. Of course, they want to cover their own ass. Here, the Rittenhouse Square resident Melissa DePino, the one who shared the video, gives her account of what happened inside the Starbucks. And I think this is the person who is talking to her, whoever wrote this article, Victor Fiorillo. This was published on the 14th. He says, so this has been an interesting couple of days. So the words that he's saying on the transcript here are in bold, and her words are in regular font. He says, so this has been an interesting couple of days. Mr. Pino says, it's freaking insane, like literally insane. It's crazy viral. Every single media outlet in the world is calling me. But I've only talked to The Root and somebody from Good Morning America. It's so overwhelming. Okay, so off the jump, she's talking about how viral the video has become and how many media outlets are calling her and who has called her. She specifically said The Root. You already know, or you should know, my feelings about The Root from time to time with their coonish behavior that they have on there, because they are affiliated with Shea Butter Twitter and VeryDumbBrothers.com. Okay. Then she says somebody from Good Morning America. Then she says it's so overwhelming. Why are we talking about this woman's emotions and how she feels about it? She wasn't arrested. You would think she was one of the people arrested during this unlawful situation that occurred. This Jim Crow-like arrest that occurred where two black men just sitting in a public space are arrested for just being black in the wrong. You're black in public. That's the problem. I don't, already off the jump, I'm getting worked up. I'm telling y'all, I'm like the Jedi. I'm getting heated already. And it ain't because it's hot out here. It's because of this mess. Then he goes on to say, when did you first notice the two men who wound up being arrested at Starbucks? She says, I was just sitting there working on my laptop, and I guess I first noticed them when the first two cops, the bike cops, walked in. The girl behind the counter had called 911. Who is the girl? What's her name? What is she? Is she white? Is she white Hispanic? Is she black? Is she Asian? What is she? I need to know about this girl. Maybe it's in some of the other articles who that girl is. She's not a girl. She's a woman. You're a grown-ass woman. You made a decision to accept a job at Starbucks, and now you think it's okay to call the cops on two black men who ain't doing nothing to your ass. What were you afraid for your life because they were sitting there minding their business? Mad because they didn't take the opportunity to flirt with you or buy some of your coffee or something? Like, what's the deal? They didn't purchase a banana nut bread or Danish, so now you gonna call the cops on them? She says the dumbass heifer behind the counter had called 911, apparently, and the cops came and said the guys were, quote, trespassing, end quote. They said we were waiting for somebody, and then the white guy in the video, that's their family friend they were waiting for, he shows up. The guys, so the two black men wanted to know what they did, and the white man wanted to know what did they do. And then more cops and more cops and more cops show up. So you have all these cops show up for two black men who aren't doing anything. And then how did it escalate from there, he asked her. She says a bunch of people in the store were standing up and talking to the girl behind the heifer behind the counter and the cops, asking why this is happening. And you can hear that in the video. He's like, what's going on? Why are you arresting them? What's going on? And then they freaking put them in handcuffs and perk walked them out the freaking store. These guys never raised their voices. They never did anything remotely aggressive. Which tells me that they know how to stay on code. And it may have been because they were so shocked that it happened to them. You know, the whole idea, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, get an education, and you're safe. Black people, we tend to forget just because you are educated, just because you are financially successful does not wash away your blackness. You are still an enemy of the state. When they make calls on police radios of a suspect or a person of interest and a crime or a suspected crime is in progress, they say A1 male. A1 male is a black male. And I think these two men, black men, may have forgotten, or it may have just not been, as clear to them at that time until they were arrested, until they got their moment. Then he says, you would have heard or seen it. She said, I was sitting close to where they were, very close. They were not doing anything. They weren't. Victor says, what's been the reaction to the video that you shared? I can't even get over it. Okay, here comes the fuckery. All right, here we go. It's got 4.15 million views, 101,000 retweets. It's freaking insane. And honestly, I didn't think this would get picked up. The reaction should not be the numbers and statistics. She sounds like a dang computer, a news feed article. She needs to be saying the comments of people, what people have said in the comment sections. She needs to be saying, oh, there were some people probably saying they deserved it. There's some people saying they should be dead. There are some people saying this is wrong. This is clear racism. She decided to say, in answering to that question, he said, what has been the reaction to the video that you shared? Reaction is comments. I appreciate this young lady, Melissa DePino, capturing the video. But we've seen black people being killed on camera. Walter Scott, Alton Sterling. We've seen black people being harmed and abused. Sandra Bland. Tamir Rice being killed. And she goes to statistics and tweets. So I'm questioning her genuine, how genuine she is. So, oh Lord, sorry about that, y'all. I'm questioning her how genuine she is in this interview. Victor goes on to say in a follow-up question, why not? She says, people ignore this kind of stuff. They don't believe that it happens. People are saying that there must be more to this story. There is not. This would never happen to someone who looks like me. You're right about that. People don't believe black people when they say this stuff happens. It does. They want to know the extenuating circumstances. There are none. So she had enough sense to go through and say all that. She couldn't answer the question up here about the reactions. She went to 4.15 million views, 101,000 retweets, as if that's some way propping her up as a hero because she filmed it. I wonder, because who was the Eric Garner, the man who what was his name? Daniel Pantaleo, one of the police race soldiers who killed Eric Garner in front of that convenience store in New York. The man who filmed that murder, that lynching, I think he's in jail for filming it. I wonder if they're going to have the same outlook, the same conclusion when they analyze the video and they say, oh, well, you're out here doing interviews with the Philadelphia Magazine and all these other sources, all these other news sources. Maybe they will say, well, she was wrongful for filming us. These are just questions I have. I'm not trying to condemn anybody or say anything negative about anybody. I'm just having questions. Then he goes on to say, what do you hope happens next? Now she's no expert. So when it came up here, this heifer, What is the reaction? Oh, I can't get over it. It's got 4.15 million views, 101,000 retweets, blah, 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 blah. She goes on and on and on. When it comes down to what do you think will happen, what do you hope happens next? Meaning, what do you think should be done about it? Like Neely Fuller Jr. says, let's get to the doing part. What should be done? Now, I'm no expert. Well, I'm no expert. I just happened to be there, and I happened to share this video. I was just a law-abiding citizen. I was just there at the scene when it happened. I knew it wasn't right. I hope it starts a conversation. AKA, that's bullshit to me. And hopefully people will start to believe that this really does happen. Anybody who doesn't think that this doesn't happen is an idiot. Black, white, or otherwise. She just happened to be there when it happened. Now she doesn't know what should happen. Then they ask her, will you be going back to that Starbucks? She says, no. I think that's a lie. She says, I can't. And it's right around the corner from my house. And by her saying that it's right around the corner from her house tells me that she could be in an area that's highly gentrified. There's probably a Whole Foods not far from her. A Trader Joe's not far from her. Where does she live? Rittenhouse Square? Yes, Rittenhouse Square. Right here. Rittenhouse Square resident. I'm not sure what type of area that is. It's probably not in Northeast Philly. Y'all tell me. I have to look it up later. If it is, it could be an area that is highly gentrified. That's being gentrified right now. And that's it for the interview. They just stopped it there. She really brought nothing to the table except her video. But the most important thing I will say from this article, from this interview they did with her, was, what do you hope happens next? And she's like, I don't know. I think maybe, you know, and I understand she wants to keep her job, whatever job she has. She could have kept herself anonymous. There's a reason why she put it up there, and she allowed them to use her image and everything. People think they're going to get some kind of come up, some kind of payoff by doing that nowadays. And she's backing down. She's talking out both sides of her face. I'm no expert. I just happened to be there, and I happened to share this video. I knew it wasn't right, but I just hope it starts a conversation. Maybe people will be able to, you know, start believe that this really does happen. You know, I believe in Black Lives Matter, but at the same time, I also, I understand that all lives matter, you know, because everyone's important. Everyone's life is important. And I really hope that, you know, that my video gets more tweets and more views. That would be awesome, because I can get more subscribers, and it would just be great. But you know how they talk. You know how these heifers talk, okay? That's what's the white girl name? I don't know. Amy. That's my Amy voice. You know, opioid Amy. You already know what that means. So I'm not saying she's on opioids or anything. I'm just saying that's their voice. That's what they say. Basically, she's saying, I hope nothing happens. I hope we continue talking about it. And I hope it doesn't happen again when I'm not around. That's what I heard. That's what my African melanated ears heard from her in this. Anyway, moving on. This is from PhillyMag.com. I'll leave the link in the description box. There are a few others. NBC Washington, Starbucks, Philly mayor, and police respond to arrest of 2 black men. So all these, of course, were published around the same time when it occurred. It's happened in Center City. If you know about Center City, Philadelphia, and I know Center City very well, Philadelphia very well, the area, the Rittenhouse Square area, I'm not too familiar with, but the St. Joe's over there, what is that, southwest or west Philly, northeast Philly, familiar with that area. What is that area called? What is it? It's not Chittenham. Cheltenham, something like that. I can't remember the names, but I know the streets, some of the streets and stuff over there. Northeast, over where Meek Mill is from. They probably assumed these dudes were just some rappers or just, some thugs off the street. And yeah, we just gonna go ahead and arrest them. For what? This is Jim Crow. This is the Jim Crow law. This is what we're doing now. But Center City and a lot of the areas, especially over there near that Walmart, over by the bridge, yeah, I've seen a lot. Like, you got a lot of racist white people that live in Philadelphia, believe it or not. I remember going to a dog park with my roommate at the time. She had he was like a year-old dog named Problem. And he was an Italian Mastiff. And you know what a year-old Italian Mastiff is about. He was about 80 pounds. So obviously I couldn't, just pick him up and carry him down the street. But I was walking maybe 3 blocks from the apartment down the street just to walk him around the dog park, let him get out, get some fresh air. It was in the wintertime, like on a Saturday. White folks was out there with their dogs. I show up with the dog, let him go run. They started getting their dog and getting their dogs back on the leash and walking off. As if it was too much to just stand there 10 feet, 5 feet, 15 feet or so away from me. They started with no hello, no how you doing, no good afternoon, nothing. I didn't speak to them. They didn't speak to me. I was fine with that. They start getting their dogs walking away. Soon, within like maybe 30 minutes, 'cause I sat down on a bench. Maybe 30 minutes later, it was me and another black lady there with her children. They were down in the bottom of the hill playing with the dogs and the toys and stuff. And I had just realized, like, dang, all the white people are gone. So they feel a certain way. And I'm sure they called the cops on us just because we were standing around, just being black. So I understand that was near Center City. Right down the street from the CHOP, Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Not far from that. It was like maybe 10 blocks away. It's in walking distance, I think. Yeah, 10 blocks. It's not that far. So this happened in Center City. They're having a demonstration. I don't know what the hell for, but I'm just letting you know. I've had experiences in Philadelphia. I've had experiences walking into the laundromat. And they have fluff and fold service at some of the laundromats around here. Raggedy ass laundromat, regular dollar machine, change machine don't work. So you got to put your quarters in or go get quarters across the street at the gas station, stuff like that. And I remember white people walking in yelling and screaming at the Asian people in there who were not getting their laundry fast enough when they came to pick it up. They felt like they were just, like they just run the city or something. So this article goes into detail about the story again. There's another article from Miami Herald. It goes into detail about the story. It's in the crime section. It should be white crime section, because I don't see where they committed any crimes. They didn't do anything except be black. That's all. And there's another one here, ABC News. The CEO calls it a reprehensible outcome, but I'm sure they're not going to do anything about it. They have the video here. They have images, of course. Let's see. The CEO of Starbucks, Kevin Johnson, released a statement apologizing to the two men on behalf of the company and saying he hopes to meet with them to, quote, offer a face-to-face apology. Okay, kick rocks. And that's it for those few articles. There's others going this way from Philly.com. So there's going, of course, you see here outside the Starbucks, they have Black Lives Matter signs. I don't see what that's going to do. It's at 18th and Spruce Streets. Oh, yes, I know where that is. There's a lot of shopping in that area. Is it Chester or Chestnut? I can't remember. I think maybe Chestnut Street. I think Chestnut Street. Y'all from Philly, y'all let me know if I'm making this up, because I think I remember Chestnut Street is around Center City. can't be that far from Spruce, because I know, because a lot of the names in Center City, Philadelphia, are named after trees. So it might be dogwood, spruce, chestnut, magnolia. You know, they have a lot of these names downtown Center City, Philadelphia. They're named after types of trees. Blossom. And Spruce Street, it can't be that far from Chestnut, because that's like one of the main drags. Chestnut and Market. I think Market Street might be where the large statue of Ben Franklin is, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I know there's Market Street. It has a lot of shopping. Chestnut has a lot of shopping. They're doing a lot of gentrification behind those streets. These two cops thought they could get away with this. And no, you're wrong. I want to know what's going to happen to the police. You know, they give the quotes, tweets, I guess, from people down here as well. I want to know what happened, what's going to happen to the police officers. Probably nothing, because Richard Ross, the commissioner, I think he's the commissioner or the chief of police, he says the police did not just happen upon this event. They did not just walk into Starbucks to get a coffee. They were called there for a service, and that service had to do with quelling a disturbance. A disturbance that had to do with trespassing. These officers did absolutely nothing wrong. A disturbance is your melanin is disturbing our society. This is not the first story where this type of thing has happened. This dude is cooning heavy. I guarantee you, if something happened where he had to defend his life or defend his family and ended up killing somebody white, like a white meth head, or someone who was trying to break into his home and kill him and his children and his wife, or hurt his family, and he had to take them out, they would not have any sympathy on him just because he's the chief of police or whatever his title is. They would treat him just like Muhammad Noor and them two police officers down in Louisiana. They would throw him in jail, take his badge and shield, and he would be done for the next 50 years. So I don't know why people feel as though, oh, we have a black mayor, we have a black district attorney, we have a black this and that you're going to have some type of justice. No, it does not start at the top. He's already made his deal. He's made his decision. When you make a deal with the devil, when you dance with the devil, don't get mad when you get raped by the devil. And this is another article from Business Insider. Anytime Business Insider is posting something, I take notice of that. Why would Business Insider? Of course, it's Starbucks, a large, multinational corporation all around the world. People know about Starbucks. So I understand that portion of it. But I like to look behind the story. And I think what's going on behind the story is there is a lot of gentrification occurring in that area, 18th and Spruce. There has always been a lot of gentrification occurring. Let's not forget, Philadelphia is where you had, y'all correct me if I'm wrong now, because I ain't senile yet, but you know, I'm sometimes I get things wrong. Y'all let me know. Y'all always let me know, and I thank you for that. But Philadelphia had a black mayor in the 80s where they bombed the Move House. Literally dropped bombs and blew up city blocks and everything, destroyed homes and killed black people who were trying to live, I guess, off the standard path, who wanted to be self-sufficient, considered radical because they wanted to grow their own food and teach their children the way they wanted them to go in righteousness. And according to them, you know, that's their business, that's their right as American citizens, right, to do that. You have all these different cults and white religious fanatic groups, such as the one that what's his name that just passed, the rapper. I cannot remember his name. Who just passed. He was down there in a cult in South Carolina. white preacher who was accused of raping a child, molesting a child, a pedophile. Not surprised by that. We had David Koresh back in the day, white cult leader. Jim Jones back in the day, white cult leader. All these black people following them. Down to Guyana, mass suicide. So I'm looking at the fact that there is a lot of things going on behind the story that we need to look at. There is a shift occurring across the country, if you haven't noticed already. The cost of living in especially areas in Northeast like Philadelphia is going up. And white people can do whatever they want. They can start cults, they can be terrorists, they can kill 9 people in a church in Charleston and still be considered, oh, well, he was just disturbed. He had a lot of mental anguish, and things are hard for him, and it's so difficult. His girlfriend broke up with him, and she was black, and you know how those black whores are. They just disturb our men. Please. There's a reason why Business Insider posts this article. They won't allow the video to be played. It's not supported by AMP. But I hope that this starts to bring to light more information to help you think about what is happening when a certain news publication decides to publish an article about a particular story. Because Business Insider and some of the others, Axios and Wall Street Journal, when they post certain articles about things, trust me, there's a background story to it. I'm not being no kind of conspiracy theorist here. They talk about a lot of things when it comes to gentrification, and they talk about it in a positive way on Business Insider. I noticed that. And this is one way to help, one story that helps a lot of racist white people, especially that live in Philadelphia and elsewhere, to feel more comfortable. Well, they're getting rid of those niggers, so I guess, it was a good idea to move here, hun. It was a great idea to move here to this area in Philly. I'm glad we moved here from, who gives a damn, Wisconsin, maybe from North Dakota or something. Oh, this is great. They're getting rid of them. I just hope it happens faster. But what do you think should happen? I don't know. I don't really talk about race relations that much. I prefer to, live my life. I am liberal. I would have voted for Hillary, but I just didn't see her policies working, So you're saying you voted for Trump? I prefer not to say. Politics is such a touchy issue that I don't want to get into it. I just feel like it's necessary for us to have a better conversation, and maybe for us to, get together, have cookouts with each other. I hope that I'm invited to a cookout. That would be great. I love the mac and cheese and ribs that the blacks, Negroes, African Americans that they make. Oh, it's great. I had potato salad once. Awesome. It was absolutely amazing. In fact, my wife is a great cook, and we ended up opening a business not far from this Starbucks, and it was great. We actually had the potato salad recipe on the menu, and it's one of our top sellers. That's the kind of bullshit I'm talking about. That was just a hypothetical white person, racist white person talking, who tries to pretend they're liberal when they voted for Trump. They pretend they can't talk about politics, but they want to know everything about what we do in politics. So, if you're a white person and you're watching this video and you're not racist and you feel like you could, help something, you don't know what to do, one thing you can do is start telling black people and non-white people what you all talk about when you're not around us. That would help a lot. Be a snitch for those that wear a Klan robe under their 3-piece suit. Be a snitch for the ones who work at Walmart that treat black customers like they stole something and call the police and have them come and shoot up the place like the white people did John Crawford. Snitch on them, because that's not the first time they did that. Snitch on the people who call the police on a black child in a park playing with a toy gun, and they come and kill him within seconds of seeing him in the park, shooting him dead. Like Tamir Rice. Form organizations, not with us, on your own. European white, what could it be called? Freedom and Justice for Black People movement. That's what you can call it. Make an acronym of that. I don't know what it would be, but make an acronym of that. White snitching movement, where we snitch on other white people. We white and we snitching on other white people. So beware. Crime Stoppers, white Crime Stoppers. Y'all out here watching us. We walking down the street shooting at us like the young man, 14 years old, almost lost his life because he asked for directions, and one of your white supremacist friends decided he was going to shoot up the place, tried to kill the boy. $50,000 bond. He got out. $5,000 is all it took to get out. I'm sure his church members helped him to get out. His co-workers and whatnot helped him to get out. Snitch on they asses. But what about Jesus? You mean Sky Faggy? Don't worry about him. He gonna be good. As long as you in justice and truth, you'll be fine. Lying, hiding, and snitching on black people for doing nothing ain't gonna help you. So that's the end of my commentary. I hope that you all stay safe out there. Don't come to my channel trolling. I will, like I said, I will remove your ass. I'm not playing with y'all. I will remove you. If you respond to a troll, I will remove them. I will report trolls. Like I said the other day, I'll be slicing and dicing. The same way I slice and dice the coons is the way I would slice and dice a troll. Because I'm going to assume you're a coon. You're probably a coon or a white supremacist. Okay? I don't have time for that. It's time to get serious. It's been time to get serious. Anyway, I'll leave you all with this. Please leave your comments in the description box. Watch other people's channels and see what they have to say about this story as well. Don't just depend on one media source. That's why I was showing you different articles within this video to give you an array of the narrative that they're trying to form here early on. Even with the witness who was there, the narrative is starting to come together, and we have to change the narrative and continue to say these men are innocent. They did nothing wrong. They are not the criminals here. We have to keep saying things like that. And we have to keep putting out messages that promote us, promote justice for us. But I'll talk to you all later. Have a great day. I appreciate your attention. I'll see you in the next video.